Howdy folks, welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. It's about time I started doing reviews of some of these lower tier tanks, like the M22 Locust. There's my little baby. Although technically it's not really my little baby. This was gifted to me by a subscriber who was desperate for me to just shut up and get on and review this thing. And since it didn't look like I was going to be buying it anytime soon, he went and bought one for me. So thanks for that. Unfortunately, it's taken me so long to get around to actually doing this review and repaying the guy for his generosity. It's embarrassing to admit this. I've forgotten who he was. I'm such a bad Jingles. So if you're watching this review, thank you. This tank's for you, and I just wish I could remember what your name was. Anyway, here we go. The M22 Locust, Tier 3 Premium American Light Tank. It was designed as an airborne tank. This was supposed to go into combat in Waco gliders to support the airborne infantry. It ended up never actually being used for that purpose, however. I don't really know why. Perhaps it just... it's not that heavy. Fully kitted out, mine only weighs 7 tons. Perhaps it was just too heavy for the purpose. I don't know. Here it is in game, and I'm glad I've got this thing now. It's a fun little tank to drive. I find all of the Tier 3 light tanks are a lot of fun to drive. This is certainly no exception. It's not completely dissimilar to tiny little terrors like the Panzer 1C, although this thing has a 37mm cannon as opposed to a machine gun or an autoloader. This is a proper tank gun. And the package as a whole is, it's a lot of fun. But I would expect it to be. As I said, most of the Tier 3 light tanks are just tiny little packages of fun. They're fantastic little stress toys for when the Tier 8, 9 and particularly 10 games have been getting you down. Just derp around in one of these little things and have fun. And that fun, well, 258 points. I'm basically going to compare it here to the M3 Stuart. Because it plays very, very similarly to the M3 Stuart. It has 10 more hit points and it's a lighter tank. However, it's a significantly lighter tank. It's almost half the weight. But the Stuart does have a much more powerful engine, 350 horsepower, whereas this little thing only has a 192 horsepower engine. So how does that pan out in power to weight ratios? Well, the Stuart has 26.94 specific power, and the Stuart is a fast, agile little tank. 26.94. The Locust, 27.36. Better power to weight ratio than the legendary little M3 Stuart. So that's a good start. 64 kilometers per hour speed limit on the Locust. The Stuart, 61. It's faster than the Stuart. It's all looking like good news so far. The Stuart has a traverse speed of 45 degrees per second, which is really, really good. The Locust, 40 degrees per second. So not as good as the Stuart. Now, the thing is, 40 degrees per second is a fast traverse. But this thing goes so fast, it ends up having a very, very wide turning circle. And that was, I'm not going to say problem, but that took some getting used to for me. Because it just does not corner as well as the Stuart does. And that was one of the main attractions of the Stuart for me, the fact that it just turned so very, very well at speed. The Locust, it doesn't turn badly at speed, but you'll wish it turned a little bit tighter than it does. You really do have to start planning your turns well in advance on this thing. And that means on tight city streets, maps like Himmelsdorf and parts of Ruhenberg, you can't really use that top speed. So that's a little disappointing. But it's not a bad thing. Now, armour-wise, this is better armoured than the Stuart. This is one of the better armoured Tier 3 light tanks. But it's got nothing to do with the armour thickness. It's 25 at the front of the hull, 13 at the sides and rear. The turret is actually not bad. It's 25 all round. So go and hull down, especially from the front, is not a terrible tactic in this little tank if you're in a Tier 3 game. The Stuart technically has better hull armour. Well, it does have better hull armour. 38 at the front, which is good. It's pretty good for a Tier 3. I mean, it's only a light tank. You shouldn't expect miracles. 25 at the side, 25 at the rear. 38 at the front of the turret, 32 at the side, 32 at the rear. The problem with the Stuart is it's very, very boxy, and it's quite a large target for a light tank. There's very little sloping and angling going on there. That's the strength of the Locust. Well, there's two of the strengths. It's absolutely tiny. It's a very, very hard target to hit compared to the Stuart. And it's sloping your armour, angling your armour. If you're in a position where you can't use the speed and you have to try to go hold down and shoot it out with somebody, you're gonna have quite an unexpected amount of success with this little tank. Because look at the angling. Look at that. Look at the amount of slope on that. That's absurdly good. So that 25mm of armour, actually, it's closer to 50 from the front if you slope it and you angle it. And the turret, again, 25 all round. You will bounce shots from the turret, especially those autocannons firing at you and those machine guns. Panzer 1Cs have problems with this thing from the front. If you get yourself into a fight where you're literally face to face and you manage to angle this thing slightly, you will probably come off best. Because they're going to bounce off you, and you are not going to bounce off them because of this 37mm anti-tank gun. The gun is very, very good. Now, it says here that it's only compatible with the M22 Locust. That's not... I mean, that's technically true, but it's effectively the same gun as the... I mean, it is. Look, they're both the 37mm gun M6. The stats are absolutely identical. It is, to all intents and purposes, exactly the same gun as the gun you get on the M3 Stuart, the M2 Medium, the M5 Stuart, and the M7. There it is on the M3. It is the same gun on the M22, and it's a good little gun. The stats of the gun are, you know, they're not bad at all. 1.7 second aiming time, that's great on a small little light tank, especially if you're popping in and out of cover. The less time it takes you to aim, the better. The accuracy is not bad for a tier 3 light tank gun, 0.41. That's not bad at all. I mean, if you look at some of the competition, where are the Germans? Well, the Panzer 1C pretty much gets... There's only really one gun you want to be using on the Panzer 1C, and that's the machine gun, because it's so much fun. 0.45 accuracy. It's not... I mean, better aiming time, 1.3 seconds. But it's unfair to compare the two. This is an anti-tank gun. That is a machine gun. The Panzer 2G... Well, it's got this crappy flak, 20mm flak gun, which that's not fair to call it crappy, but, you know, it's a flak gun. Or this 30mm Mark 103 gun. That's not bad. It's really not bad. Very, very good penetration. Not as much damage per shot. And unfortunately, this is an autoloader. And for an autoloader to have a slower rate of fire overall than a 37mm anti-tank gun, this thing has a monstrous, really slow reload between shots. This gun isn't too bad at tier 4 on the looks, but it's not very good on the Panzer 2G. It just takes too long to reload between shots. So, not really fair to compare it against that. The Russians, where is it? There we go, the T-70. T-70 does get a very, very good gun. That VT-42 is not bad at all. The rate of fire isn't quite as good, but it's as near as damn it. Penetration's way better, the damage is way better, the accuracy's way better. The only thing the M6 gun wins on is aiming time. So overall, yeah, the Russian T-70 does get a better gun, but it's not as fast as the Locust. So pound for pound, the Locust does stack up pretty well against the competition. Even the turret turns very quickly, 40 degrees per second. It's a really, really fast, nimble, mobile little tank. The view range, you know what, 330 metres isn't terrible for a tier 3 either. The signal range is, again, not bad for a tier 3. Overall, I've had immense amounts of fun driving this tank, but I did expect to, because it's a tier 3 light tank, and they're all great fun to drive. The BT7 is great fun to drive. I forgot what it's called. The T70 is great fun to drive. The M3 Stuart is great fun to drive. And this is no different. So enough blathering on about the tank itself. Let's actually have a couple of games. Oh, quickly, a quick word about the equipment that I've fitted to this. If you're going to buy a premium Tier 3 light tank, you're probably going to pimp it out. Most people wouldn't bother buying equipment and upgrades and stuff for their normal Tier 3s, unless they plan on keeping them and playing them over and over and over. Most people are just going to grind through it, get to the Tier 4, and then wish they hadn't bothered, because most Tier 4 tanks are garbage. But in this case, it's a premium, and I love playing it, so I have fitted... I haven't gone overboard. Improved ventilation, Class 1. Just, 5% all the crew skills, good stuff. And I am a big fan of fitting enhanced suspension to my light tanks, because a light tank that gets its tracks blown off is very, very quickly a dead light tank. So I can't remember ever getting detracked in this thing, unless I've done it myself by sailing off the edge of a cliff because I didn't realise how fast I was going. But that, yeah, enhanced durability to your suspension. Light tanks that get their tracks blown off and stopped dead are usually dead light tanks. So I can't recommend this enough, especially when physics got introduced and suddenly you saw T50-2 drivers rocketing around all over the place, going airborne and wrecking themselves when they came down. Installing this thing solves a lot of those problems, and that's all I've done on it. Everything else is, exactly as it comes. Crew skills, it's a premium tank. You shouldn't be buying crew for your premium tanks. You should be taking your existing American light tanks and putting the crew in these premium tanks, because they suffer no penalty for going from a tank of the same class and nation. Pop them into your premium, run them out, get your first win of the day with your crew, take the crew back, put them back in the chaffee, run the chaffee out. Get your first win of the day and your daily double again in the chaffee. All good stuff. Anyway, on with the games. Tier 3 game on mines, and you'll notice that absolutely everybody is Tier 3. And this is the kind of matchmaking you tend to get most of the time in Tier 3 light tanks. They're incredibly fun, competitive little games. Taking care to make sure I didn't blow my turning circle on the way up, and it's happened before until I got used to how this thing turned. You've got to plan those turns well in advance when you're driving this little bugger. Oh, here comes the Panzer 1C who's sick of living.
Penetration. Looks like that one went right through.
Yeah, I think it's fairly safe to say we cleaned his clock. And somebody's done a... Look at that, somebody's getting a scout medal out of this game. Look at that M2 go. Oh no, it's an M3 Stuart. Well, that was a real waste of an M3 Stuart. Just depressing when you see people do that. Yeah, you got a scout medal, fantastic. Did you earn any credits and XP for that? Probably not. Probably not enough to justify throwing away a great little tank like the M3.
Nice shot. We nailed it back.
This is not a bad little gun, you know. Look at that. Okay. Probably going to have to shoot this guy. Oh, no, he's turned around nicely. Where's he gone? Alright. Let's back up a little. That's how the armour was angled, even though I was facing down towards those guys. Because believe it or not, you will, even this low tier in the game, you will get bouncers if you angle this thing's armour.
They're hit.
I mean, that D2's got pretty good armour.
Enemy is hit.
You can see
That one didn't go through.
at that angle,
We've hit them hard.
he is
That's gotta hurt.
bouncing some of my shots.
We didn't even
Two.
scratch them.
Angling your armour works even at this kind of low tier. Especially if you have something to, worth angling. Like the front of the M22. Well, he's done 374 damage, and this gun only does 40 average damage per hit. No, not gonna. I don't want to jump down just yet. Pop over here and try and slot in beside this Mark III medium. And yep, that'll do.
That's gotta hurt.
We'll let him kill the AMX,
Looks like that
and I'll
one
finish
went
off the
right
Cruiser
through.
2.
They're hit.
Bingo.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Okay, now it's time to get down off this hill. Be careful here, I don't want to rip my tracks off. But with the enhanced suspension,
Tracks is hit.
yeah, you can damage your tracks, but you probably won't rip them off. Pulling manoeuvres like that. What have you got left? FCM 36. Quite dangerous. But I still have 250 health to play with. Oh, and there's a Renault. And no, I'm going to have to go around if I want to shoot at those guys. That'll actually give me better shots at the M2 medium as well, so let's pop up here and nail the Frenchie. Has he seen me? Don't think so.
Punched right through their armor.
Nope, got him.
We finished him off.
528 damage done, and I know the M2, there he is. His gun's pointing the other way. Oh, bounced. That one didn't though, and I will be able to get him
Enemy armor is
before he brings his gun around. And all I have left is an M2 medium. And I know where he was last spotted. So 572 damage in a tier 3 light tank. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. And nah. Probably not going to catch this guy before they kill him. Nope, there we go. He's dead. So, not a bad little result. Didn't take a single point of damage, 3 kills, and 572 damage done. Slightly more difficult matchmaking this side around. It's a tier 5 game. Oh boy, is it a tier 5 game.
Time to roll out.
Almost 2/3 of the teams are tier 5 tanks, and we're sitting here in our tier 3 premiums, myself and my Locust, Circumflexers in his T127. So this should be a bit of a challenge. Still, it could have been worse. He could have been in his Panzer 1C and have next to no chance of penetrating anything other than maybe the T28 and the T82 and the artillery. But the T127 has an okay gun, as does the Locust. So let's see what we can do. T50's got the early spots off, so I'm going to pop up to this bush and see if I can get some side shots at any of these guys. Maybe discourage them from getting any closer. T28 seems like a likely victim. No hit, and it doesn't do anything. Oh well. It is only a 37mm gun. We've got one of their arty spotted. T28 fires and misses. I fire and bounce. I'll risk one more shot and then I'm getting the hell out of here because that Churchill Mark III wasn't quite fast enough, puts a shot into me. And yeah, there's Artie. Shooting at the lowest tier tanks in the game. Oh, I didn't see that one coming. Covenanter. He's quite a tough little tank. As you can see, I'm getting an orange damage penetration indicator most of the time. Oh, that one went in. Good. Got some damage done. Is he still there? Haven't got a clue. Right. Oh, M7. Yeah, and don't hang around. Not with 2 KV1s closing in. And I only have 175 health left, and there's 2 KV1s closing in. I need to get the hell out of here. Unfortunately, that M7 on the top of the hill has got circumflexes spotted. And I'm surprised artillery haven't shot at him. So he's going to need a bit of help with this M7. No problem. Happy to oblige. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You're not so tough now, are you, pal? Not with 2 tier 3 light tanks shooting at you. Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. That's some big tanks coming up. Circumflexes took a couple of hits. Uh-huh. I might not be able to do much against that KV-1, but I can hurt this M7. Yeah, artillery's taking pot shots at circumflexes. No, no, don't shoot the KV-1s or the AT-2s or the Su-85s. You take pot shots at the Tier 3 light tanks. Let me know how that works out for you. I'm desperately trying to avoid getting shot by this KV-1. And circumflexes isn't coming out from behind that rock for anybody. Come on, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, okay. Well, that M7's determined to have a piece of the action. Looks like he's pointing his gun at me. Circumflexes has spotted his opportunity. He's getting out. The M7's going after him, of course. Gives me the opportunity to do some good. Come on. Come on. Taking him down, one piece at a time. He's gone. Good stuff. Oh, KV-1 finishes circumflexes off. Our KV-1 finishes off their KV-1. And, you know, everybody just goes for the easy kills. And there we go. We won. Why did we win? Because the enemy team was so busy trying to kill me and circumflexes in our Tier 3 light tanks that they just got butchered by everybody else on the team. But, you know, hey, if the enemy's making a mistake, it's rude to interrupt. Mines. Not my favourite map in the game in higher tier matches, but down here in the tiers, in the low tiers, a lot of fun. I do like this map in lower tier games. Not so much tier 8, 9 or 10. But down here with these little dinky toy tanks, yeah, this can be a lot of fun. So I'm rushing for the hill, and I'm not getting a warm fuzzy feeling looking at what's not coming up with me. And I really don't want to die alone up here. But there's no artillery, so hey, I made it. Now that Panzer 38's got a nasty gun. But he has to keep it pointed towards me for it to work. So this is good. And I believe he just bounced. Alright, I'm not going to let him get away. I've got to chase him down. Ah, last shot missed. I'm a lot faster than he is. If you want to play catchy, chasey, kissy with an M22 Locust, you're going to lose. Can I get the kill? Oh yeah. Right, back to our original position. Let's see how dumb this one is. Yeah, his gun's not pointing at me. Fine. Panzer 38's got a decent gun for its tier, but you have to point it at the enemy. Let's see if I can pop it. Oh, tree just fell over there. There is something down there. I'm going to see what I can spot from here. T-46. Alright. I'll risk 2 shots. Yeah, and then back up. Break contact. Gone. Cool. Let's see what else I can spot. Yeah, you'll do. Thank you. One more. And get out of here before somebody realises I'm firing through the bushes. Oh, nearly. And there doesn't seem to be anybody paying attention to what's going on back here, because nobody has returned fire at me. But then again, I seem to have run out of targets over there to shoot at, so relocate. This is very, very suddenly just started to swing massively in our favour. Oh, there's that T-46 again. don't know what good he thinks he's doing back there. And there's a Marder. I'm not sure he's seen me.
That's gotta
In fact,
hurt.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't. And
Enemy vehicle
kill number
knocked
2.
down.
Then there's a cruiser up. Nah, he's disappeared. So let's go cliff diving. Enhanced suspension ensures that my tracks don't take any damage. And now I've come up behind that Panzer 38,
Penetration.
which is nice.
Enemy is hit.
Oh, he's probably going to get a hit into me.
Looks like that one went right through.
But I got my armour angled and I get away with it. Now there's only 5 of them left. 2 of them are on the map. I know that T-46 is up there as well. The Valentine AT.
We've hit them hard.
Oh yeah.
That one bounced.
Quite tough little targets, Valentine ATs, I have to say. Whoa, just been hit. What was that? I think it was the cruiser with his flat gun. 1 hit, 46 damage, no problem. I can take that. He revealed his position. Panzer 1C nukes him with his machine gun. Go around and help him out with his T-46.
They're hit. Looks like that one went
Oh, and he's
right
retreating right into a Panzer 38.
through. We've got them.
Yeah, that's not going to work out too well. There's only 2 of them left now. We know where the Chiha is. And the Panzer 38T is up there in the cap circle somewhere. The Chiha's days are numbered. He's gone. There's only 1 left. So much fun playing these little tanks in these low tier games. Oh, couldn't quite get the last kill. But that wasn't a bad game. Not a bad game at all. 3 kills, 600 damage done with a gun that only does 40 average damage. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. I really, really like this little tank. Right, I'm here in Karelia in more typical Tier 3 light tank matchmaking. It's everybody here is Tier 3 except for the artillery. And I'm platooned up with Ram JB and Circumflexes. Ram JB, you may know from War Thunder. He plays World of Tanks as well. He's got a T-15, German Tier 3 premium tank. You almost never see those things. Circumflexes, of course, has to be prized away from his beloved Panzer 1C with a steel bar. Anytime he says, do you fancy a Tier 3 game? He basically means he wants to play his Panzer 1C. And why not? Because it's a fantastic little tank as well. But it's Locust time. So here we go. This thing can shift. It really, really can. It's got more engine power than the Panzer 1C, but the Panzer 1C is lighter. And has a better top speed. But you'll climb hills faster than a Panzer 1C any day of the week. And I was going to follow up the hill, but I thought, nah, screw this. Let's sandwich the BT-7. Oh, oops. Hit the wrong BT-7. And yeah, he realises which side his bread's buttered and he tries to run, but there's too many of us on him. So, sorry about that, Mr. BT-7. Mr. Ally BT-7. Right, let's go and back him up now. So there's 3 of them over there, and there's 3 artillery in the game. And I have to say, most of the times I've died in the M22 is because I've been hit by artillery.
We've hit them hard.
Speaking of artillery, oh, come on, die, little scumbag. Die, die, die. Oh, bounced. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. That's more like it. Come on, finish him. There we go. Good stuff.
Vehicle destroyed.
Circumflexus is yelling for help here. Panzer 1C is great until you have to reload.
Penetration.
But yeah, no problem. I got you back.
Gotta hurt.
Come on, pop out.
Enemy is hit.
10 health. You've got to be joking. Ram's going to ninja this kill. Yeah, there he goes. And, you know, why not? It's looking pretty good. We're winning 6-2. And of the 6 kills that the team has, we've got 5 of them. They're such good little tanks. Oh, crap. Armada. Alright. I'm Probably going to need a bit of help. Oh, shit, artillery as well.
We've lost
Marder gets the first hit.
enemy
Oh,
armor is hit.
going to need some help with this guy.
Enemy armor is hit.
Hits
We
me
nailed
again.
it bad.
He switched to high explosive. Ah, the Marder's using high explosive. Got him.
Going.
He could have had me otherwise. Oh, he fires and misses. Yeah, screw you, scumbag. Now he's got Panzer 1C problems. Circumflexes is going to... Oh, yeah. Surprise butt sex. Always the best kind of butt sex.
Didn't penetrate their armor.
Yep. Circum gets him. Good stuff. Oh, another one just popped up. That's good news, actually, because that AMX-38 is kind of difficult to penetrate. So,
Enemy vehicle
thank you, Mr. Cruiser 3, for popping up just when I needed something else to kill. Oh, man, this tank is so much fun. I mean, you know, all the Tier 3 light tanks are. In their own special way. Look at that. Circumflexes just diving right into the middle of it. Check them on the map. No fear. He's just killed a T-82. And I believe, yeah, that's a brothers in arms. 3 kills for everybody in the platoon. So, yeah, that was a fun game. And 3 great little Tier 3 light tanks. 2 of them premiums, the T-15 and the M22 Locust. And Circumflexes, of course, in his beloved Panzer 1C with a 7.92mm Mauser. So, M22 Locust. Thank you, mystery subscriber who gifted it to me. I wish I wasn't such a klutz and I could remember your name, and I just apologise it's taken this long for me to put the review together for you. But very, very grateful for having this tank donated. It's been an absolute joy to drive. I highly recommend it. It's immense fun. It's probably not one of those tanks that you have to rush out and buy, though. I mean, it's cheap. It certainly is quite cheap. It will set you back 900 gold. That's not a lot. It's a tiny little concentrated barrel of fun for 900 gold. The only reason I would say that this isn't an essential purchase, well, there's a couple of reasons why I would say it isn't an essential purchase. One, it's a Tier 3. It's a premium, but you're never going to earn a lot of money driving the M22 Locust. But the main reason is because it's so similar to the M3 Stuart, and you don't have to pay real money to get the M3 Stuart. If you like the look of the M22 Locust, and you want to buy it, then by all means go out and buy it. You will not regret it. But if you want the M22 Locust experience, just get yourself an M3 Stuart. They play very, very, very similarly, and the Stuart has a much tighter turning circle. However, don't let that put you off. This is a great little tank. It's definitely got its own charm. It's not exactly like driving the Stuart. It's a smaller target for one thing, and it's faster in a straight line, and they've both got exactly the same gun. I'm very happy with this little thing. It's definitely a keeper. I will not be getting rid of this, and I can see myself having fun with it for a long time to come. As always, folks, take care on that battlefield, and I'll catch you next time.